What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the AM, guys. Welcome back to 5 Minute Rants. Hope life's treating you good. Hope you're doing well. Today, I'm going to talk about how everything is really theory until you ship it. And I think this is a really important principle and concept to learn. And I think it's really important to be able to observe this too in your life. And when you're working in the company, when you're working on the company, when you're building or creating relationships, you need to understand that everything you think about is theory until you ship it. Even if you've done it before, right? So you have experience marketing, you have experience creating revenue, you have experience doing offerings and all these things, right? When you're in the planning stage, it's theory because it's not just basic science where gravity is a constant. There's not all these simple constants, like constants in laws in business, right? Or even in relationships. People are fluid. And I think it's really important to know that people are fluid. And when you understand that people are fluid and that when you're in a relationship and you're building a relationship or you're building a company or you're working for somebody, you're leading a team, all these things, there's consistencies, right? People are consistent. However, there are not just constants, like foundational core blocks that never move. Like gravity does not move. Like you jump up, you're coming down. Now, there's things that can circumvent that law and stuff like flight and stuff like that, but that's not what we're talking about. What I really want to talk about is when you're in the planning stages, it's really important to know it's theory until you shipped it because you don't know until you know. And the only way to know is when you actually have real measurable data from taking action, right? And that may sound like a really dumb, simple statement that you don't know until you know, but it's really the truth and it's really that simple. And if you don't have measurable data, if you're not collecting data when you're actually taking a step forward and you don't have a way to at least measure or judge whatever you're doing, you're not going to be able to grow from whatever action you're taking. So a couple things about this. If you have a theory, if you have a plan that you need to execute, it's not a plan unless you include measurement. How am I actually going to measure this thing, right? Cool. My wife and I want to have a healthy marriage. Awesome. How do you measure healthy? What is healthy? How do you define that? How do you measure that? And then what are the steps that are actually measurable to move towards that goal, right? I want to build a company that customers love. I want to build a brand that's trusted. Awesome. How do you measure that? And then you come up with your plan for, hey, this is how I build a company. This is how I have a brand that people love. This is how I produce brand value. These are our offerings. Here's how people are going to talk and all this stuff. Awesome. How do you measure how people respond to your name? What's your process? How do you measure and tie into the things that you're currently doing to the goal that you have? And I think it's very important to see this, that until you take action, it really is theory. Until you take a step out the door, it's theory. Even if you have prior experience doing things, even if you have prior experience in building something or you're familiar, it's not all the same. A lot of the principles are universal, right? And a lot of the principles are universal across the board. But the way things take shape, the physical circumstances, often the tactics, and the details of the tactics, they change. And it's important to know that they change, however so much. And it's important to measure. And we've done this like in marketing. When we've marketed for people, when we have had revenue generation, all this stuff for other companies, their industries are different. Their offers are different. Their team is different. The principles are all the same, but everything is different. They operate differently. So how do you actually have measurable results? And then you go from the plan, because you have a plan, you have a pre-built plan, and then it goes from being theory, hey, this should work. We're certain that this should work, to actually, okay, no, this is measurable. We know that it's working, or we know that it's not working. And I think with that being said too, it's important to know that knowing what doesn't work is just as important as knowing what works. And so when you're measuring and when you're shipping, when you're beginning to build, like you want to start a different department in the company with different offerings, create different revenue streams. It's all theory until you have measurement to prove your hypothesis. It is very scientific. And I think oftentimes we miss the point and miss the fact that a lot of things in life are scientific that you can test and you can measure, see, and then you can learn and grow. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. So I'll catch you later. Peace.